Hello there and good evening. My name is Hinda and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be experimenting. I'm going to try to do something that I've never done before. Basically, I have these gorgeous yarns over here and I really want to make a baby blanket out of it. But as you can see with this one, I knitted it all up. I want to make it on the knitting machine, I forgot to mention. So I knitted one ball up, and according to the measurements, it'll come out pretty small for a baby blanket. And I only have 3 balls of this color. So this one was 1 ball, 2 and 3. So I was trying to think of solutions of what I can do, and then I came up with an idea. So I have a bunch of these white yarn, but this is much thinner than this one. So at first I was thinking of adding a border, and so it doesn't really matter that it's thinner, but I wasn't sure if a border would be enough to make it bigger size for the blanket. So instead I had a different idea to crochet, basically when I make all these panels for the blanket, so to connect them with an additional panel of crochet in between each panel. I myself am not sure exactly of how I'm going to do it, but that's pretty much the plan, and we'll see how it comes out. For me, this is a very out-of-the-box experiment for me. I'm usually very square, and knitting is knitting, crocheting is crocheting, and never the twain shall meet. But this time they're going to meet, and hopefully it'll come out as good as I'm hoping. So let's get going. I'm going to hook this up onto the table to make it steady, and then I have already exactly how many rows I need for each panel, thanks to this swatch over here. So I'm going to need 140 rows for each panel. So each ball will be 2 panels, so 6 panels altogether. And then we'll try to see how connecting them works. I have here a bunch of waste yarns for the top and the bottom of the panels. So let's get cracking! Okay, now I'm done with this one. Let me get it out of the way. Okay, so next step is closing up all the tops and the bottoms of all the panels. So let's do that. So I'm gonna do that for all the panels, and then we're gonna meet back for the experimental part. Okay, so for this next part, this is going to be the challenging part because it's something that I've never done before, and we'll see if it'll come out good. I have a plan A and a reserve plan in case plan A doesn't work out. So basically what I want to do is I'm going to take this white thread. Since it's pretty thin, so I'm going to be holding it double. That's why I have 2 balls. And so basically what I'm planning to do is to connect the panels like this, and here in between them to make a little white panel with crochet. So at the beginning I was thinking of doing like just crochet all along here, make a few rows, and then connect the next one. But then I'm gonna have a little bit of a problem because basically if I'm doing 1 crochet row just here, so it's 1 row, but then if I'm going to connect it to the next one, then it's going to be a crochet row along with a connection, and then it's going to be like a bit of a thicker row. I don't know if I explained that well. Anyways, so I decided to do instead going from bottom to up, basically like this. So like this, let's say, and then just crocheting back and forth all the way up while connecting from each side as I go up. So that's my plan A. If I see that plan A doesn't work out nicely and as I want, then my plan B is going to be to make just crochet a panel separately and then sew it on to both sides, which is a bit more work, but if it comes out better, then I'll do it that way. So I'm going to start with plan A, which is to crochet both together. So let's start. Here's one end, and here's another end. And actually for crochet I need it on this side. Okay, so let me start with a slip knot. So I'd really love to continue this, but it's already pretty late and I need to call it a night. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Hello back. So today is the next evening, and after much deliberations and trying out different things, I've made a few adjustments. So basically I've gone to plan B, which means to create a separate panel and then afterwards attach it to these panels. And I made it, instead of regular single crochet, I made it of linen stitch. So I did 8 stitches across and then just did linen stitch all the way along until I had long enough for the panel, the same length. There we go. So now I'm going to attach it to the first panel, and I'm just going to use regular, I'm not sure if it, no, it's not master stitch, I don't know how it's called, but basically where you just go like that and like that. I don't mind if the stitch is visible, I really don't mind that. So that's what I'm going to do now, and we'll see how it comes out. I think I've reached a little bit of a problem again. You see, it's a little bit coming out a bit wonky because it's a bit too wide. Now, I don't know if when I connect the second panel, it might just, you know, straighten out itself, but might yes, might not. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pause here. Okay, so my computer had to do some updates, so in the meantime I had time to think and ponder and realize that this is just not going to work out. It's not compatible to the size of this, and it's just not going to sew onto it good. So I came up with the only solution that I could think of. So I didn't want to do this at the beginning because I didn't want to connect them with crocheting, but I started here going along with linen stitch again, the same stitch as I did that panel, and it's fitting really flush and perfect onto the knitted panel, so that's great. Look, you see it's completely straight. So what I'm going to do is, instead of making a few rows and then crocheting it together to this one, instead I'm going to do each one separate. So I'm going to do a few rows of linen stitch here, a few rows here, and then on each panel on both sides I'm going to do a few rows, and then I'm going to sew them or slip stitch them together by the crochet row, and then it's going to fit perfectly because they're going to be the exact same amount of stitches, the exact same kind of stitch, because it's all going to be crochet rows. So that's the solution I came up with. It's a bit more tedious, it's going to be a bunch of work, but I love doing linen stitch, so I don't mind, and in the end I'm sure it's going to be totally worth it, hopefully. And then I think I'm going to end everything off with a gorgeous little border around, just to bring everything together, and it'll just be smashing. So I'm going to continue on this one. I'm going to do, I think, about 3 or 4 rows on each one. Should be enough. So let me do that. Okay, so I finished on this one, and I'm gonna do it now on this panel. Although I should finish this one and do one now on this side, but I want to see how they're going to sew together. So I'm gonna do on the next panel, and then I'm gonna sew them together and see that everything works as I'm hoping it will. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, I finished the second one. Yay! So now it's time for the big test. Okay, I've got my needle. Let's thread it. Go. And now I'm just going to go into each stitch on the top and connect them. Actually, I'm gonna make it easier. So now I'm just gonna go into every stitch on the top of each side and connect them. Hopefully, it'll come out good. So now I'm just going to go into each stitch on the top and connect them. And let's see how it'll come out. I think I cracked the code and got the design that I was looking for. Let me show you. Ready? What do you say to that? Isn't that just absolutely perfect? Ignore that thread over there. I ran out and had to add some more. But look at this beauty. Look at that. So perfectly blended together and nice and flat. Love it. Absolutely love it. Love it. Wow. I'm so glad I didn't give up because I was almost ready to, and I found this way to do it. Wow. I can't stop admiring it. Absolutely love it. So, I'm going to be working on the rest of them tonight. See ya later. Are you ready to see the queen? Here she is. What do you say to that? Gorgeous or not gorgeous? I barely even think we need a border, but I want to smooth out these edges over here a bit. See, it's a little bit wonky. And here. So I'm gonna do granny squares around, granny stitch actually, around for the border. I'm gonna be using a smaller hook and only one strand of the white. So let's get started. Are you ready for the final reveal? Here we go. Look at this beauty. Look how gorgeous it came out. Isn't that just a beauty?